My best friend stole my dream job. Now I don't know if I can ever forgive her. I, 27F, have been best friends with Sarah, 27F, since we were kids. We went through everything together, middle school awkwardness, high school heartbreak, and even college. She's practically family to me. We've always supported each other, especially when it came to our careers. Both of us are in marketing, and for years, we've helped each other build portfolios, prep for interviews, and navigate the crazy corporate world. But a few months ago, something happened that's making me question whether I can ever trust her again. A little backstory: I've been working at a small marketing firm for the past 3 years. It's been a good stepping stone, but I've always had my eyes on one company, the dream job, let's call it top tier. I've wanted to work there ever since I first got into marketing. It's the kind of company where you can build an amazing career, and the benefits are next level. Sarah knew all of this because I talked about it constantly. I had been applying for jobs at top tier for years without any luck, but I never gave up. Last year, Sarah got laid off from her job due to budget cuts. I felt awful for her, so I helped her brush up her resume, connected her with people in my network, and cheered her on at every step. That's what friends do, right? She applied for a bunch of places, but nothing seemed to stick. Meanwhile, I kept applying to top tier whenever a new position opened up, always hoping for my shot. Then, about 4 months ago, a job opened up at top tier that was perfect for me. The position was exactly in my area of expertise, and it felt like everything I had been working toward was finally falling into place. I immediately applied and told Sarah about it, super excited. She wished me luck, and I really thought she was rooting for me. Fast forward a couple of weeks, I hadn't heard anything back from top tier yet, and I was getting a little anxious. Then one evening, I got a text from Sarah. It started with, "Hey, don't be mad." My heart dropped. She told me that she had applied for the same job at top tier, my dream job, and she got an interview. I was stunned. I felt betrayed, but I tried to keep my cool. I asked her why she didn't tell me she was applying. She said she didn't want to step on my toes, but when she saw the job posting, she realized it was a great fit for her, too, and she couldn't pass it up. She apologized for not mentioning it earlier, but by then, it felt like a hollow apology. She knew how much that job meant to me. A week later, she told me she got the job. I was devastated. My best friend had just landed my dream job, the one I had been chasing for years. She said she was sorry and hoped this wouldn't come between us, but honestly, I haven't been able to shake the anger and hurt I'm feeling. It's not just that she got the job, it's that she did it behind my back and didn't even give me the courtesy of telling me before she applied. Since then, our friendship has been strained. We still hang out, but there's this underlying tension that we don't talk about. Every time I think about her working at top tier, I get this sinking feeling in my chest. I can't help but feel like she stole something from me. I know it's not rational, top tier doesn't belong to me, and we both have the right to go after opportunities, but it feels like such a betrayal. I keep asking myself, am I overreacting? Should I be more supportive of her, like I've always been? Or am I justified in feeling like our friendship may never be the same again? Update. I've been thinking a lot about the advice I got, and I ended up having a serious conversation with Sarah. I told her exactly how I felt, how hurt I was that she applied behind my back and how much this job meant to me. To her credit, she listened without getting defensive. She said she understood why I was upset, but she also felt like she couldn't pass up such a great opportunity, especially since she had been struggling to find work for months. It didn't make everything better, but it felt good to finally air out my feelings instead of pretending everything was fine. I'm still not sure where our friendship will go from here, but for now, I'm focusing on finding peace with the situation. Maybe one day I'll be able to fully forgive her, but right now, I need space to process. As for my career, I'm going to keep pushing forward. Who knows, maybe there's an even better opportunity waiting for me. My mom's secret changed how I see my dad forever. I, 25M, have always considered my family pretty normal. My parents have been married for over 30 years, and growing up, they were the perfect example of a strong, loving couple. My dad, 57M, was the hard-working provider, always there for family dinners, making sure we had everything we needed, and never missing a birthday or holiday. My mom, 54F, was the nurturing type, always involved in school activities, making sure the house felt like home, and just being the glue that held us all together. We weren't rich, but we were comfortable, and there was never a time when I doubted the love my parents had for each other. That's why what I found out recently has completely shaken me to my core, and now I'm questioning everything about my family. A few months ago, my mom and I were having one of our long late-night chats. We've always been close, and I know she trusts me more than anyone else in the family, sometimes even more than my dad. She was feeling emotional, talking about how fast time flies and how she sometimes wonders where all the years went. I didn't think much of it, just another one of those deep conversations where she reflects on life. But then, out of nowhere, she dropped a bombshell. When you were younger, your dad and I went through a really rough time. There were things you didn't know about, things I never wanted you to know. I was stunned. I had never heard of any rough time between my parents. They'd always seemed like the perfect couple, at least to me. I hesitated, not sure if I wanted to know, but I asked her what she meant. That's when she told me something I never could have imagined. When I was around 10 years old, my dad had an affair. It hit me like a ton of bricks. My dad? The man who taught me everything about integrity, loyalty, and being a stand-up guy? I couldn't believe it. I sat there in shock, listening as my mom explained that she had found out about it shortly after it started. She confronted him, and they nearly divorced. According to her, it wasn't just a one-time thing, it lasted for almost a year. I asked why she stayed with him, and her answer broke my heart. She said she stayed because of me and my siblings. At the time, we were too young to understand, and she didn't want to tear the family apart. She said my dad begged for forgiveness, promised it was a mistake, and swore he'd never do anything like that again. She agreed to work through it for the sake of the family, but their relationship was never quite the same after that. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My parents never showed any signs of strain. They were always affectionate with each other, always laughing and spending time together. Now, I'm looking back at my childhood and questioning everything. Was it all just a facade? Did they just pretend to be happy for the sake of us kids? After telling me, my mom broke down. She said she never wanted me to know because she didn't want me to see my dad differently. She made me promise not to confront him or tell my siblings because she doesn't want to reopen old wounds. She said she's made peace with it and that they've moved past it, but I can't stop thinking about it. Every time I look at my dad now, I feel conflicted. He's still the same dad I've always known, but now I see him in a different light. I can't help but wonder how he could have done something like that, especially when he had a family depending on him. Part of me wants to confront him, to ask him why, but another part of me knows it won't change anything. My parents have apparently dealt with it, and maybe it's not my place to reopen old wounds. But I also feel angry that my mom had to go through that, angry that my dad made that choice, and angry that my image of them has been shattered. I feel like I've been living a lie, like the perfect family I grew up in wasn't real. Now, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do with this information. My mom says she's forgiven him, and my dad has been a good husband and father since then, as far as I can tell. But I can't help but feel like I should do something with this knowledge. Should I confront my dad? Should I talk to my siblings? Or should I just try to move on like my mom has? Part of me wishes I never knew the truth.